Let's drink some whiskey. Hey, and welcome back, Whiskey Questers. If you're new to the channel, my name's Antonio, and in this channel I'm going to review whiskeys from all over the world. I like to add a touch of water to each one of them just to see if it changes, because you'll never know unless you try it. And if that's something you like to watch, go ahead and hit that subscribe button with the bell notification so you can stick around for more videos. Let's get on with this review. But before we get started with the review, I got to give a quick shout out to a few people that have been supporting the channel. Number one has to be my wife. Made me this t-shirt for Father's Day, and I think it came out pretty good. It's the same one that I designed for my infinity bottle over here. The second person I want to give a shout out to is my boy Matt from the Whiskey Do YouTube channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. This guy hooked it up with a bunch of samples. He also gave me this Deftones Phantom Bride Indian Pale Ale beer, which I've been dying to try. I'm like a hardcore Deftones fan, and I sure do hope it doesn't disappoint. I don't think it will. But he did give me a whole bunch of samples, like I said, one of them being right here, the Dalwhinnie Winter's Frost, which I already reviewed, but he gave me a whole bunch of the other Game of Thrones whiskeys here. This one right here being the Singleton. He gave me a Jack Daniel's Unaged Tennessee Rye, which I plan to do a comparison with their aged rye. So we'll see how that turns out. And there's a bunch of other samples in here that I'm still planning around how to get to those. I got my work cut out for me. And the third person I also want to give a shout out to is Richie C, one of the subscribers. He gave me his infinity bottle blend for me to try and share with you guys. So I'm planning on doing maybe like a live video for everybody to come on board, chat, while I drink some of his bourbon here. This is called the Bourbonfinity 2 Bourbon Blend by Richie C. So stay tuned for that. Alright, now we can move on to the review. Let me get this stuff out of the way for now. So what I have for you guys today is Old Grandad Bonded. This is a bottled in bond, so we know that it's going to be at least 4 years old, and it's going to be 100 proof. That's 50% ABV, and this is another Jim Beam product. This is something that's widely available as far as I know, and you can pick it up for like around $21 to $25 depending where you go. And this old dude right here on the front of the bottle, that's Mr. Basil Hayden himself. Old Grandad comes in 3 different proofs. It comes in the 80 proof, 100 proof, and 114 proof. Now I'm not planning to pick up the 80 proof because, well, if I already bought this one, why am I going to go down, right? So I am curious about the 114th and see how it compares to this, so also stay tuned for that. Alright, let's take a quick look at the color before we move on to the nose and the taste. The color on this, I'd say, is your typical bourbon color, but this one's a little bit on the light side. I'd say it's maybe like a goldish yellow kind of color, but nonetheless, remember, bourbons have no color added to it, so this is all natural coming from the wood. Alright, let's move on to the nose and see what we get. Again, you get your typical bourbon notes. And this one I'm getting orange citrus right up front. Get that woody, oaky kind of smell. And I also get a little bit of caramel coming through. Let's move on to the taste and see what we get, guys. Cheers. To me, this is super spicy. I think by now, whoever's been following me for quite a while will know that it's something that I look forward to in these whiskeys. Spiciness, that black pepper, I love it. It has a really nice mouthfeel. It coats the palate pretty well. After that spiciness, I start getting some of that like cocoa kind of flavor. A little bit on the bitter side, a little bit, not too much, at least not to me. And you start getting some of that char, some of that orange zest also comes through. I say the finish is somewhere between medium and long. Leaves me with a minty kind of freshness in my mouth with some char at the very end. Pretty good in my book. Let's add a drop of water and see what happens to this. Just gonna I'll add 2 drops on this one. See if makes it sweeter. Maybe that spiciness will go down. Let's find out. See you guys in a bit.
Drink bourbon,
let it sit just for a little bit, not too long. Let's see what we get on the nose with some water added. Alright, every time I add water to a bourbon, I tend to get a lot of honey on the nose. And this one's no exception. I get a lot of it. I still get that orange citrus. That oakiness is still there, but a lot of honey came out. I'm liking the nose with some water added to it, but let's see what the taste is like. Cheers, guys. Softer on the palate this time, but it still has a nice mouth coating. The spiciness came down a little bit, but you still get a fair amount going on all over your mouth. Now, I don't get that cocoa anymore, but I still get that orange, zesty citrus kind of flavor. That black pepper, like I said, there's some char going on, and right after that, a little bit of a like a coffee, black coffee kind of note starts to come out. Now the finish is a little bit shorter, but I'd say it's still on the medium side. It leaves you with still that minty freshness, and now I'm getting more like a burnt sugar kind of note going on, and peppery notes all right there. All right, so my final thoughts on Old Grandad Bottled and Bond bourbon here. If you guys enjoy those smoky, burnt kind of notes with that spiciness going on at the price point, I think this is a pretty damn good bottle. If you guys see this and you haven't tried it, definitely buy one. Now, it's not gonna wow you. It's nothing that sets it apart from other stuff, but for the price point, I think it deserves to be on everybody's bar. I'm definitely glad that I decided to pick it up finally. I mean, look at it. This certainly stands out in your bar. People walk in, they're gonna be like, so what you got to drink? And I'm like, ooh, what's that? That's Old Grandad Bottled and Bond. Over the past few days, there have been a few subscribers that joined. I want to say thanks for joining. If this is not your first time and you've been watching a few videos and you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Don't forget to drop me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this bourbon right here. Is this something that you want to put in your bar? Is it one of your favorites already? Let me know. And again, if you're liking the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button with the bell notification so you can stick around for more videos just like this. Thanks everybody. See you guys in the next video. Cheers.